Good morning and welcome to the Thursday Sports Show. I'm Fred Arnold.
And you're not?
No, not today.
Okay.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
You might notice today that I'm not in my usual Fairbury Journal
Jake from
News,
State Farm.
Jake from State Farm, McBaddis, Canning, Telescope, MSA clothing gear. What I'm wearing today, do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. It's a Canadian Football League jersey from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I have a friend who lives in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Her name is Lisa McLaren, and I promised her, or she made me promise, that if the Roughriders, that's their mascot, if the Roughriders won the Canadian Football Championship, which is the Grey Cup, their version of the Super Bowl, that I would acknowledge the Roughriders on our show today. And for the record, the Roughriders won the 2013 Grey Cup over the Hamilton Tiger Cats 45-23. This is the 101st championship game in Canadian football history. Goes back a long time. It kind of makes the...
I didn't realize that had been around for that long.
101 years apparently. Makes the Super Bowl pale by comparison. I think this will be the 48th?
40-something, yeah.
47th or 48th Super Bowl. So the Grey Cup has been around a long time. Lisa lives in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and she's like this huge Rough Rider fan. And I told her that during our show that if they won, I would acknowledge them.
So what is a Rough Rider? What is their mascot? Do you know?
It's like a cowboy on a horse. Kind of like the Wyoming Cowboys, I think.
But not as creepy as Pistol Pete.
Not as creepy.
Okay.
Not as creepy as Oklahoma State's Pistol Pete, definitely, or the child molester monk guy from
Oh, Friar Dom.
Friar Dom from Old Dominion. Yeah. So I shout out to the Rough Riders. Today, I wanted to talk about money.
Oh, good.
You know, it's always one of everybody's favorite topics,
Yep.
I guess.
Along with politics and religion.
Money, politics, and religion. How much do you think you're worth? Now keep in mind, I know what you get paid. You know what you get paid.
This is kind of a loaded question.
This is a loaded question. How much do you think you're worth?
However much society dictates I'm worth,
Well,
I guess.
all right. There's a awesome answer, isn't it? Are you worth $21.86 million a year?
Yes.
You are.
Yep.
With your
I think I need
consummate bookkeeping and broadcasting skills.
Yeah, I think I need a salary increase.
I'll submit that to the board of directors in triplicate, and then we'll get back with you after the next meeting. Jacoby Ellis, he's an outfielder for the Boston Red Sox, or was.
Ellsbury.
Ellsbury. I said Ellsworth, didn't I? Ellsbury. He was just traded to the New York Yankees and given a $153 million deal over 7 years. That averages out at $21.86 million a year to play a game.
A year.
Per year. Also included in that deal is an option for $21 million in the year 2021 when his contract expires, which will give him a whopping $169 million over 8 years, not counting endorsements. That got me to wondering exactly about the top 10 highest paid athletes in professional sports.
Is this all professional sports or just America?
This is going to be
Okay.
this is going to be all professional sports, but as irony would have it, they're all Americans.
Really? I would assume there would have been at least a couple soccer players.
No,
in there.
greedy capitalistic Americans. Number 10 on the list is Zach Greinke. He's 29 years old, and he plays baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers. His annual salary is $29,020,000.
You played for the Royals for a while, didn't
He
you?
did play for the Royals in typical Royal fashion. When anybody gets any good, they trade
They
him
let him
off.
go.
Yeah, they let him go. He's got a 6-year deal worth $147 million. He's number 10. Number 9 on the list is Alex Rodriguez of the New York Yankees.
Really? He's cleared out number 9?
He's you know, times
Wow.
are tough for A-Rod. He is making $29,900,000 a year.
Real tough there.
He has a $257 million deal that extends through 2017. Oh, listen, my phone is ringing. Apparently a bill collector. We don't talk to those guys. A-Rod has $1 million in endorsements, and he has a deal which will give him an extra $6 million if he hits 660 home runs total. Number 8 on the list is Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos
he just
quarterback.
signed a new deal a couple years ago.
$31 million a year.
Jeez.
He has $17 million in endorsements that's included
Wow.
in that.
Papa John's.
Yeah, and Buick, driving a Buick and eating pizza. Number 6 on the list was a surprise to me. Phil Mickelson,
The golfer?
professional golfer, lefty.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Wow.
His annual salary is $39,528,000 for playing golf.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he is the only golfer on the list. Number 5 is missing off of my list. Apparently number 5 is Trevor Gill. So we jump to number 4. The number 4 highest paid professional athlete is Kobe Bryant, Los Angeles Lakers. He makes $46,850,000 a year.
Jeez.
And of that, there's $19 million in endorsements. Number 3 is Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints quarterback. He gets paid $47,800,000 a year, $150,000 a year less than Kobe. He has $7 million in sponsorships.
NyQuil, doesn't he do NyQuil?
Yeah, he gets paid for taking NyQuil at night.
And then isn't he in the regular commercial with Favre?
With Favre, and who's the other guy?
Is it Dale Jr.?
Dale Jr., that's right. If somebody would give me money, I would take NyQuil every night.
I would too.
Sleep
easy.
Sleep easy with NyQuil and get paid for it. Number 2 on the list is LeBron James. I guess that doesn't really surprise me. He gets paid $56,545,000 a year. Now, the irony part of this is that if you consider his base salary, which is $17.5 million, that's not all that much for a
No,
for
he
an
wouldn't
NBA.
even rank in the top 10.
No, but he has a nearly $40 million deal with Nike to wear Nike shoes. Now, we'll see if you can guess. Can you guess either the athlete or the sport that has the highest paid salary?
I'm gonna go with.
And if you get this, I will tell you cheated and looked on my list.
Well, no, the only reason I would know is because I kind of follow combat sports somewhat, and I know a while back when Floyd Mayweather had his last fight, he made like somewhere upwards like $41 million for it.
Trevor, you ignorant. Floyd Mayweather is the highest paid professional athlete, period. He makes $90 million a year.
And competes maybe once a year.
Once or no more than twice a year. His May 4th fight with Robert Guerrero earned him $32 million plus another $13 million in pay-per-view revenues. During his next fight, his salary is slated to be bumped to $100 million for one fight.
That's ridiculous.
Now, I don't know about you, but if somebody wants to just
beat the crap out of you for $100 million.
I'll settle for half that in cash.
The game is in like 10 minutes. I need my Jeff Spirit wear now.
We got you covered, ma'am.
Here you go, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was so fast.
MSA, we do everything fast.
Oh, great. Bye. Bye.
Last weekend of college football was just absolutely nuts. You have the Ohio State-Michigan game where the brawl broke out and 3 players got ejected. And what was it? Was it an Ohio State player that was flipping the fans the bird as he
Yes.
was walking out?
Yes, and more than likely Ohio State will play for the national title, so, yeah, that's
If they
awesome.
can get past Michigan State,
True.
it'd be nice to see him get beat.
Not an Ohio State fan?
No, more so just not an Urban Meyer fan.
Well, he's had such a stellar record of honesty and integrity wherever he's went.
Exactly. And then the what do they call it? The Auburn and Alabama game, the Iron Bowl.
Yes, the Iron Bowl.
That was the craziest ending to a game
Did you
I've
see
ever
that
seen.
ending?
Yes, I did.
I almost turned it off, and my son yelled at me because I was going to turn it off, so I was sure it was going to go into overtime.
Well, and what's crazy about it is it was Alabama's coach that was lobbying for the 1 second to get put back on the clock so they could kick a field goal.
Journal News sports editor Jim Phelps, he thinks that this instance will make Nick Saban look bad, and Nick doesn't like to look bad, so he thinks he's going to leave and go to Texas now. I told him I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll have to see. If things play out, if Missouri wins, if Missouri beats Auburn, and one of the other two, either Ohio State or Florida State, lose, Alabama will probably play for the championship. So that might make them feel a little bit better.
Have you been following the Florida State thing with their
The Jameson,
yeah,
or
the
that's
quar-
not his name, is it?
the quarterback.
Yeah. They're supposed to announce charges or announce their findings on Thursday. And it coincides directly with like the deadline for Heisman voting and everything, so there's a whole bunch of...
How do you feel about him being a Heisman candidate if charges are filed?
Well, honestly, the Heisman's kind of gone away from what it originally was for. And I don't know, if you look at all the previous winners, like Reggie Bush, for instance,
Charles
can't-
Woodson.
yeah, they came back and took his away. So, I mean, if you earn it on the field, you should win it. And if something comes out after the fact, then they can come back and take it away from you.
If you follow, the conspiracy theory in sports circles, there are people who claim that, well, Florida State knew this had happened. Suppose it happened like a month or 6 weeks ago or whatever.
I thought it happened back in 2012.
Well, okay, a year ago then. Okay, so it happened a year ago. Florida State knew about it, but they've kind of swept it all under the rug, thinking this guy was going to be a Heisman candidate. I know the Heisman's supposed to be for the best football player in college football, but I think an obligation goes along with that to carry yourself accordingly as a decent human being.
Well, look at what happened with Manziel after last year.
Oh yeah. Johnny Football gone wild. I don't know if charges are brought up against this guy, and they're founded. I guess I think he should be precluded from getting the Heisman.
Yeah, I agree.
But back to your Alabama Auburn thing. That was. I have never seen an end to a football game like that ever.
No, and I've even seen a T-shirt company started making T-shirts. It's got like the goalpost on it, and it says what does it say? It's daylight saving time,
Yeah,
and set your clocks back 1 second.
that's pretty funny.
It is. They're cashing in on it.
I would think so, particularly the Auburn people. So
Yeah, definitely.
But no, it was crazy. I read where it could possibly go down as the best sports play in football history, period.
I could see that.
I can see that.
It was just, you don't ever see anything like that.
No, crazy endings to crazy games. I guess it just goes to show it ain't over till it's over. So. And that's all I had for this week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you very much.